Everyone, welcome to Plants and Politics. So, Daily Beast and other news outlets today reported something that's really not good for it. Really shines a bad light on the Southern District of New York. I think it was first reported by the Daily News, though. I believe it was their story. So the Daily Beast said that, and others said that in 2016, Epstein victims and their attorneys urged federal prosecutors for the Southern District of New York to open a new investigation into accused child sex traffickers and pedophiles Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, but the prosecutors refused. So attorneys who represent several of Epstein and Maxwell's victims say that they met with New York federal prosecutor Amanda Kramer on February 29th of 2016, and Kramer allegedly was concerned that Epstein's sweetheart non-prosecution agreement that he received in Florida would negatively impact any New York investigation. And she said that the matter had already been reviewed in Florida courts, which is true. Florida courts refused to take it back up until this year. So those who attended the meeting say that Kramer stated, "This has already been looked at. So what you're really asking us to do is redo what the U.S. attorney in Florida did." She also inquired about specific acts of abuse that took place in New York, and they discussed statute of limitations. Again, yeah, the Florida courts did say, no, we're not going to take this up, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they were right. It's so frustrating. Attorneys claim that a second meeting occurred in the summer of 2016 after Ghislaine Maxwell had allegedly committed perjury during a deposition while she was under oath in the case involving Epstein's victim, Virginia Giuffre, who is suing Maxwell for defamation. And there's conflicting information there too. So there was one person that the Daily Beast spoke with who said, no, a second meeting never took place. You know, it's possible that that person didn't attend the meeting, so they didn't know about it. But anyway, just wanted to throw that in there to be fair. One source told the Daily News that attorney David Boies, I believe is how you pronounce his last name, he represents several of the alleged victims, and they said that he was frustrated by the prosecutor's refusal to pursue perjury charges against Maxwell because he believed they had her, quote, dead to rights, and he couldn't understand why they weren't going to take action on that. And Boies also told the Daily News, quote, "We were saying to anyone who would listen, we've got clients who were abused. Some of them were underage. We have the evidence. There's a whole record that's been developed. We can establish beyond any reasonable doubt there was a massive sex trafficking ring going on." What was their big issue with this? Well, one source who's close to people in the Southern District of New York told the Daily Beast, quote, "You just presume that major, significant, well-respected U.S. attorney offices don't fuck this up. It obviously seems very tragic in hindsight, but if people reopened our cases, we'd lose our minds." So they'd prefer to let women just twist in the wind and allow a pedophile and child sex trafficker and God knows how many co-conspirators to walk free rather than questioning a colleague's decisions and motives. I don't care who you are, U.S. attorneys, district attorneys, Supreme Court justices make mistakes. And some of them are getting paid to make mistakes. When a guy who's being accused of trafficking children to high-profile people gets a slap on the wrist, gets a non-prosecution agreement for all of his co-conspirators, and that doesn't raise a red flag. That doesn't scream, something's not right here, and maybe Alex Acosta, the U.S. attorney involved in that case at the time in Florida, maybe there was something going on with him. Are you kidding me? So when they finally did take action 3 years later, the prosecutor, Jeffrey Berman, stands up in front of the cameras and said, oh, we're, quote, proud to stand up for Epstein and Maxwell victims. Really? Now? Oh, now you are. And then he went on to say in that press conference, quote, my office will not rest until perpetrators of these types of crimes are brought to justice. Victims' voices, including the many voices of Epstein's alleged victims, must be heard. It wasn't until the absolute incredible investigative journalist, Julie K. Brown, embarrassed the hell out of everyone and did a deep dive into Epstein's crimes and printed them in the Miami Herald that anyone decided to take action. So they can spare us, spare me your faux outrage and your concern for the victims' rights. Nobody gave a damn until it hit mainstream media and until they were all so ashamed and so embarrassed and people were like, what the F is going on? How in the hell did this happen? And until Alex Acosta was raised to another position of power in Trump's administration when he became his labor secretary. Only then did people actually decide to give a damn and pay attention. It's so sickening. It's so sickening, but you know what it does? It tells us that we need to stay on top of all of these people. We cannot trust them to just do what's right. We have to apply pressure at every turn. We can't just assume that they're going to do their jobs and they're looking out for the best interests of we the people, or that they give a damn about sexual assault and sexual abuse and child trafficking. They don't. They don't until we apply pressure, until it is so embarrassing for them, until they are so humiliated that they will take action. Sadly, who knows if anything is going to come of all this. The people in power are so tied to the co-conspirators that I don't know. I don't have much hope that there will be justice in these cases and that truly the people who should be held accountable will see the inside of a jail cell. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think there will be a couple of people that they throw under the bus. I think there will be a couple of people who take the fall for all of this, and everybody else will receive a pass. I hate to even say that. It makes me sick to my stomach to say that, but with everything we've seen, and especially over the last 4 years of Trump and how nobody was willing to hold him accountable, I just don't know. I mean, this thing reaches so deep and so wide all over the globe. I can't imagine that they're ever going to get to the true core of this and dismantle this web of child trafficking. I hope I'm wrong. I pray that I'm wrong. Anyway, guys, as always, like, share, subscribe. Thanks for listening, and I will talk to you soon. Take care. Thanks for listening to Plants and Politics. The only way we can take our country and power back is to spread the truth and build an army. So remember to like, follow, subscribe, and share on Facebook, YouTube, and wherever you listen to your podcasts. Thanks again.